Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the REC podcast, brought to you by the REC Toycast. I'm your host, Roman Chavez, and with me as always,
Eric Icarus.
Eric.
Yeah.
I'm in a weird mood today, man.
Really?
Yep, got in my car.
Uh-huh.
I don't really listen to the radio. I turn it on.
Yeah.
The funky Cole Medina is playing.
That's a good song.
I mean,
I like Tone Loc.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. It wasn't the song I wanted today. You know, it wasn't.
It's not how you wanted to start your drive.
It didn't. It didn't really do anything for me.
Right.
I'm pretty bummed. You can follow us online on Instagram at REC Podcast. You can follow me at Roman REC Podcast, and you can find Eric peddling that stack of Tone Loc, Funky Cole Medina singles anywhere.
At your local record store.
Record store, parking lot,
Anywhere.
Weird alleyways.
You come to your boy.
Yeah, Jesus.
I'll set you straight.
Weird comment in the pop culture news this week.
Yeah.
We had somebody from Warner Brothers basically stating that Superman's not really a relevant character,
right?
Which is kind of, for lack of a better word, why they're having an issue like making movies with him.
Sure.
Which obviously sparked all kinds of internet backlash and whatnot. Now, there are a lot of people who don't like Superman.
Sure, I get it.
They don't like the Boy Scout. Mm-hmm. They don't like how powerful he is.
Right, he's pretty OP.
We've had the debate here: who wins in a fight, Superman, Batman. The fact that anybody even, thinks that that's an argument, whether a near God level being could beat a man in a suit in a fight, is just absolutely. That's how much disrespect they give Superman's character. But the other side of the coin is that. People. I love Superman.
Right.
I love the character. It's not my. He's a favorite, not my favorite, but a favorite. And,
he's a legend. He's up there. He's in the pantheon.
Yes. And I actually care for him more in the Justice League and stuff like that. But it's a weird comment to make when we know you're trying to establish a universe.
Right.
When we know you're trying to sell tickets.
Yes.
And I think they're trying to blame. It seems like they're trying to blame us.
Yeah. You're trying to bring the audience.
Like, oh, you guys don't care about this character.
Right, that's why we're failing.
Yeah. It's not us, it's you.
Yeah. That old chestnut.
Yeah, and it's just bonkers to me. It's bananas because with all my distaste and dislike and all of that for Justice League, I liked that version of Superman.
Yeah.
That was the first time I thought that they actually got Superman in 3 films.
Right.
They actually got some,
some
semblance of his character.
Definitely.
And so it just, I don't know, it's such a weird thing to say because Batman is also struggling as a film.
Right.
As a character, and you guys don't say anything about Batman because, you guys just had a, $800 million Joker movie happen, You
can't bash him.
No.
Yeah, the $800 Lex Luthor movie probably be singing a different tune about Superman.
That's interesting.
But, it's funny that they would say this, because I believe they were quoted as saying that to Variety, that magazine or website or whatever. And I always thought that Superman and Captain America held a lot of the same ideals.
I agree.
You don't see Captain America failing.
Yeah.
In fact, he's prospering.
Yeah.
People love Captain America. So you can't. Again, it goes back to you saying they're trying to blame us for their shortcomings, which is ridiculous.
There was an international burger chain that set up shop here in Colorado Springs, where we're from, and it failed. And there was something about either the CEO or somebody high in there was saying like, "Oh, the people of Colorado Springs don't understand good food." Like it was the most ridiculous.
Which one
thing.
was it? Who was it? I don't remember.
It was good something.
Oh, Good Times.
Good Times, yeah.
That was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. Yeah, but I don't have as fine a palate as you, I guess.
Trivia. That Good Times is now a Starbucks.
So that happens.
The snake eats the snake.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a weird thing. It's a weird argument. It's a weird. I think it's always strange to like blame your audience. Same thing with. Elizabeth Banks, again, we've talked about that at great lengths.
Right.
It's like, your project didn't work because you didn't sell it right.
Sure.
And then if you sold it right, you didn't deliver right.
Right.
Like, that's why these things...
there's a lot of factors that go into making movies.
Yes.
And getting audiences to bite.
Because I argue that they sold Justice League well.
The most people wanted to watch that movie.
Sure.
But then then we get the first round of people like, don't go watch this, you know?
It made $250 million or whatever opening weekend, something like that.
Nothing to sneeze at, but when your budget's $300 million.
But then it had the greatest drop off from week 1 to week 2, Oof. I think ever, or at least ever with a comic book movie.
Right.
It was something. It was either or. It may have been both, actually.
Yeah.
So,
do you think there's a do you think Superman still resonates with people, with the public? Is there something that maybe that Warner Brothers is saying that maybe there's a point there? Do you think that his character's outdated?
I don't think his character's outdated. I do think that there are some updates due to the character, which they have experimented with in comics. You know, actually having him and Lois be married and have a kid.
Sure.
And, having him, be the leader of the Justice League, but then kind of being a supporting cast of the Justice League and stuff like that. You know, we've talked about this too. It's the fact that we never feel Superman can't handle the situation.
Sure.
The closest we got was Man of Steel, and a lot of people really enjoy Man of Steel. I think it's just okay.
Fine. Yeah, it's fine. I don't hate it. Yeah,
there's things about it that I like, but you've got to give him a great villain.
Yes.
Somebody who, like, I didn't feel like the Lex Luthor in Batman vs Superman was very powerful. I felt that he was crazy, but he wasn't very powerful.
Right, he didn't have the brilliance to balance his insanity.
Yeah.
Which, the Lex in the comics, I mean, I would even argue he's not really crazy.
Yeah.
He's completely calculated. I think he's a sociopath.
No, completely.
But I don't think he's flat out bonkers like Jesse Eisenberg played him.
Yeah.
You know, he has the fortitude and the to see 5,000 moves and steps ahead of you. That's his superpower.
Yeah.
He's just a tactician.
Mm-hmm.
He's brilliant. And that's what... I mean, I don't care if Superman can level buildings and fly and has heat vision. You're not going to... If you can't think faster than somebody, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
And I always thought that's where his best villain was in people who could outthink him.
Yeah. And I actually think that Michael Shannon's portrayal of Zod was fantastic.
Oh, man. It was one of the best parts of that movie.
Yeah, it was.
Hands down.
I think it was the best part for me.
Yeah.
And, it's
my favorite part, real quick.
Go ahead.
Is when they're fighting and he's starting to learn how to contain his powers, and he's like, I grew up a warrior. And where did you grow up? On a farm? And just starts whooping on him.
Yeah, you see him figuring it out. Yeah, I like that.
So fast. What took Clark years to have the discipline, and it just shows Zod has the will to just win.
Yeah. They really made Zod a far more interesting character. And I liked him in the comics for sure, but I think he was far more interesting in this.
He had
movie.
a lot of depth. Yes. There was a lot of cool ideas in Man of Steel. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of gray area, and I think that's where Marvel and DC differs. Marvel they play in the gray area. Yeah. No one's 100% good. Mm-hmm. No one's 100% bad. It's like you can kind of identify with the villain's motivations. Yeah. And you kind of maybe look at the heroes like, you're kind of a jerk. Yeah. And then I feel like DC is pretty cut and dry. Yeah. It's like, oh, you're bad, you're good. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they tried to blur the line a little with Batman v Superman, but it didn't work. Yeah. And Zod was the closest thing to having... blurred lines.
Yeah, so it definitely the villain needs to be very compelling, and I really think that DC, I think they don't realize how to lean into the good guy thing like Marvel does.
Sure,
where Cap's conflicted.
Right,
Cap is keeping secrets from Tony.
Right,
who's his one of his best friends.
Bro, it's his bro. Yeah, man.
Somebody that he sees. He sees his friend Howard in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
he's almost playing the big brother role.
Yes, very much so.
So
and where Cap's not perfect, he's lied and he's made mistakes, and
he's lied by proxy.
By proxy, yeah. And where Superman, in Superman Returns with Brandon Routh, he was almost too squeaky clean.
Well, I mean, he was a bad father.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but that's weird. Then they make him a bad father.
He just abandoned his child.
Yeah, obviously he didn't know, but come on,
Superman. Is he going out for a pack of smokes on the other side of the galaxy? Be back later.
I'll see you. Don't you worry, it'll be fine. You're gonna get through this just like I did with no father. Or they tried to make Superman way too dark. My previous complaints still from Batman vs Superman. When he tells Lois, nobody stays good in this world. That line kills me because it's okay, you stay good in this world.
I am okay with the line if if it's the low point in the film where he's at his lowest, and then he rises above it, he sees the good again. You know, him saying that is okay. It's just he has to be Superman and Superman up. And like I'm bringing the hope back.
Yeah. Yes.
And
because he even says his symbol stands for help.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's where DC, or Warner Brothers rather, is wrong. Is I think this character needs to. It should be resonating because, I mean, we could use hope. Mm-hmm. We need a symbol for hope. I mean, for all Cap's virtues and whatever, we all still think of Superman as the hopeful, the beacon of hope.
Yeah.
Which they call him like a million times in those movies.
Yeah.
Which you don't see necessarily.
Yeah, we never actually see that come to fruition.
Right, and it's a bummer because I think Henry Cavill could have played that had he had the material. But that's the thing is like Cap in the MCU, Chris Evans brings this man out of time who's conflicted, like he says it, but still manages to rally the team.
Yeah.
Be the man or the person that everyone looks up to.
The entire nation of
team looks up to him.
The entire nation of Wakanda gets behind Captain America in Avengers Endgame.
Right. One of the coolest scenes, and it's kind of subtle, is when Wanda and Vision are getting their butts handed to them by the Black Order, and they're about to go get murdered. And then all of a sudden Cap shows up, which is a great scene. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden you see Vision smile, like, oh, we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Cap's here.
Yeah, this super strong phasing robot that it holds an Infinity Stone and can melt you.
Yeah,
this dude's here.
Yeah, and a witch who can control chaos magic.
Yeah.
See a man who's just got enhanced abilities.
Yeah.
And they're all of a sudden like, oh, we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
We're going to be fine.
Sweet. I think my wound is feeling better.
Yeah, my owie's healing up.
Yeah.
But... and I never got a scene like that with Superman.
Yeah.
They tried to do that with him in Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
Where that cheesy...
And I like that.
That scene's good. It's perfect Superman.
Yes.
It's fine.
It's really good Superman. It's what I want from the character.
Yeah, me too.
I want a little cheese. I want Superman to be a visual apple pie.
Okay, fair enough.
That's exactly what I want out of him.
And again, I'm okay with them making him conflicted and a little dark.
Yeah.
But not completely somber. He's like a moody teenager.
Yeah, very much so.
In his 30s. I think I'm talking about myself right now. But it's you never got the sense that Cap was going to, or Superman was going to rally.
No.
He was going to be there and rally the team and be like, okay, we are going to show these people there is hope in this world.
No, instead he shows up and shows them why they need him.
Yeah, or why he doesn't need them.
Yeah. Point of fact.
He's like, Batman, you go back to your cave.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, you go back to the island with women.
Yeah.
Aquaman, back in the sea.
Yeah.
Flash, back in your basement.
Yeah, I got this.
I got all of this.
You get this. Cyborg, I'm sorry, man, I forgot you were there.
You may go now.
Yeah. The thing is, they didn't do enough to make us care.
Right.
And we really need to. I think that by the time this road that we're on is done, we're going to have the pitch, have the idea.
Sure.
But the thing is, we need to... Okay, Smallville.
Okay.
We need to approach this, and we need to build these bonds. Like, we need to care about Superman. Because I didn't care about his death in Batman vs. Superman.
No.
It just didn't mean that much.
It didn't mean anything.
Where even though the fight, like Doomsday in the comics, like that whole like introduction of that character is so convoluted, so ridiculous.
Right.
It doesn't make it. They add story to that character later to make it have.
Okay.
Yeah, they retroactively like make Doomsday a cooler character.
Right.
Other than just unstoppable killing machine.
Right, from somewhere.
Yes.
From parts unknown.
Yeah, it was so bizarre because he just literally shows up and starts beating everybody's. Like, Superman should have showed up way earlier.
Right.
Actually, because like a lot of people got messed up. I don't know if a lot of people. I can't remember if a lot of people died, but a lot of people got messed up
because he was like, oh man.
Yeah, and we almost need a Superman Begins, a Superman Year One.
Yep.
Where we get. Like, I'm fine with, like, the globetrotting. It would be kind of I think this is where we can get some more Batman parallels, where maybe we follow this Clark globetrotting to find Kryptonian artifacts.
Sure.
To find Kryptonian...
Okay.
just like in Man of Steel, they find that old ship in the ice.
Right.
So, like, we know that, there was other things going on.
Sure.
But, yeah, so we have him trying to discover who he is, and along the way, we're kind of seeing his backstory.
Right.
So we gotta grow with this character, because we do have to have him killed at some point, and then the forming of the Justice League happen.
Sure.
So It's just that we've got to care about the character. He can't already. I mean, literally, he's just like Clark Kent, and then boom,
Superman.
You're Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Man of Steel, it's just like there's no build.
There's no the Clark parts. I felt like I knew Superman kind of a little more better than Clark in those movies. Like you barely. I want to see Clark do some journalism.
Yeah.
You know, they touch on it. You know, he works at the Daily Planet, and I guess he was investigating the Bat.
Yeah,
but
I feel like they're like, oh, people already know who Superman is, so we don't need to spend any time on him. We just need to get to the punchy,
right?
Laser eyes flying. No, man, like we want to see, like I want to relate.
I want to earn that.
Yeah, I want to relate to Superman.
Yeah, I do too. And there's so much there to relate to.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this guy is, again, he's the antithesis of Batman.
Yeah.
He's the guy who, I mean, again, in a way, they're both orphans.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah, completely.
But it's what they did with their problems.
Yeah.
And their shortcomings and to become who they were.
Yeah.
You know, so Clark dealt with it in the light. Bruce dealt with it in the dark. I mean, there's some gray area there. Yeah. And I think that's where most people fall. Mm-hmm. You know, you find a little dark, find a little light, and that's how you deal with stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Superman, we didn't get any real light. Mm-hmm. It was just kind of like vaguely like, oh, okay, the sun's kind of there, all right, whatever.
And I guess to the question at hand, as somebody like you, who you're obviously more of a Batman fan than a Superman fan,
sure.
Do you think that Superman? I guess the question is, do you think that he's relevant?
Yes.
Do you? Okay, good. I don't think it's even arguable. I don't think anybody can argue that he's not relevant.
No.
It's just you have to put. I think people get Superman and they're like, "Oh, this is going to be a home run."
Sure.
Like we could just we don't have to
practice. His name on it. And
we don't have to practice.
Yeah.
We're the varsity team. We're going to go play the junior varsity team.
Right.
We got this. That's how it feels. And then they're just like, "Oh, there actually needs to be some depth. There needs to be some reason."
Right.
Because we need to limit him and then also have him be the most powerful person on Earth.
Sure. It's a hard balancing act.
Yes.
But you got to remember, they've been doing this in comic books for better or worse for how many years now?
80 plus years.
80 plus years.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a way to do it. You know what I mean? And again, I'm cool with your idea with him globetrotting, but I'm also cool with him not.
Yeah.
I'm cool with him being on the farm, learning small town ideals, and that's what keeps him wholesome.
Yeah.
You know, and just like what the show Smallville did.
Dude, yeah, Smallville is, for me, the origin of Superman. Yes, the when he becomes Superman at the end of the show,
weird.
10 seasons, it's a little clunky, but like I'd say the first 7 or 8 seasons of that is just really good storytelling for that, and it like Miles Miller and I can't remember, Goff and Miller. They really adapted this very interesting show. Right. They had some Jeff Loeb influence in there too. He was a showrunner for a little while as well, or executive producer, and you know they really revamped Superman.
Right.
But when I started watching Smallville, I really was not into the Superman character anymore.
Okay.
I just discovered more interesting, more compelling characters.
Right.
And Tom Welling's portrayal, and even Michael Rosenbaum's portrayal of Lex. Oh. It's so good, right?
Yes.
So good, because you were rooting for Lex.
Yes.
You didn't want him to turn.
Right.
You didn't want him to fall into his darkest, where we know he can be.
Right.
And yeah, that whole cast just really redefined the character and gave us a reason for him to be. They gave us a reason for his weakness to be human.
Sure.
I
would say that's his real weakness is not kryptonite. Mm-hmm. It's his attachment to being human. Mm-hmm. The human side of Clark is always going to topple him.
Yes.
You're going to find a way to tug at his heartstrings or manipulate him.
Yes.
Because he is a small town boy.
Yeah.
And you can, again, they want to see the best in people. Yeah. If you show them the best, they're going to take that at face value, even though on the inside you're like, oh yeah, he's falling for this.
Let's break it down, okay? He is an orphan.
Yes.
Okay? And knows that he's an orphan.
Right.
So right there, you can relate to people who are orphans.
Right.
Who grew up in foster care.
Right.
Who, the ones who got adopted by a nice family and the ones who didn't. Like,
right.
Okay? We see, hey, these are the values that the small town couple, try to instill. A small town couple that could not conceive their own child.
Right.
Very relatable content right there. They instill in him good, hardworking,
yes,
down home, and let's just say it, probably Christian values.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
Yeah. And we get to see like how that resonates with somebody growing up. It's basically like if you adopted, like on a micro scale, if you adopted a child from China.
Sure.
a little kid, a year old maybe, and then you raised that child in our culture. Like, so that's a relatable thing. That happens.
Yeah, all the time.
That happens.
Yes.
See. And then growing up, not knowing where you fit on the planet. Right. Growing up, not knowing your own place.
We all feel
that way. Not knowing what your own power is. And your power being, are you book smart? Are you funny?
Right.
What bothers you? What things hurt you?
Right.
Well, like already all of these motifs are just
they're lining up.
And this is just with him as a high schooler, growing up as a kid. Okay?
Not even going as an adult into the big city.
Yes.
Being more insecure.
If you're a religious person in real life, obviously the Jesus allegory.
Oh, of course, big time.
Yeah. Being a survivor.
Yeah.
Having survivor's guilt. Like we haven't really explored that as much in the comics. But it would be cool to not see Clark have it, but to see Zod or Zod's right hands, Ursa, or I always forget not Dax or anyway.
Or we Crypto.
See seeing people have like survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
Seeing them maybe even have some like issues with war.
Right.
Like all they knew was war, and it's like, oh hey, we don't have to be at war with these humans. We just control them.
Right.
And then we can help them, and it helps
through brute force.
Yeah, like
that brings up so many other compelling conversations, and
there's a lot of layers to the character and his surrounding characters.
Yeah.
And then 9 times out of 10, the Jonathan Kent story ends in tragedy.
Sure.
Where Superman loses another parent.
Right.
And loses a parent that he knows.
Yeah.
He doesn't know Jor-El and Lara.
Yeah.
So, actually having to go through that and us having to see
how he processes it.
Like, dude,
I always
so
thought
much
it would
stuff
be
that's
cool
relatable.
If, Superman is in the city, he leaves Smallville, he says goodbye to his parents, like, good luck, and da-da-da-da-da. And, he's having, like, the best day of his life in Smallville. He gets a job at the Daily Planet, then he gets the call from Martha saying Jonathan is gone, or your dad's gone. Then he's like, I should have been there.
Yeah.
I'm Superman.
Yes.
Why couldn't I have saved him? And like, oh my God, that would be heartbreaking to watch.
My boy Jeff Johns, we bring him up a lot on the show. He wrote this excellent series on Superman, a couple different great story arcs, but he ends up killing Jonathan Kent. Spoilers and this was pre-52, so this is an older story at this point, but still, but very, very good. Or maybe it was New 52. Might have been New 52. I can't remember now. But anyway, it's he's fighting Brainiac.
Okay.
And I think I think they're like rebuilding the Fortress of Solitude or he ends up rebuilding the Fortress of Solitude. I think it's that classic scene where he throws the thing into the ice. And I may be remembering this incorrectly, but the message is the same. Superman does something he shouldn't have done at that time, and while that's going on, like it's loud and everything, Jonathan has a heart attack.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I want it to be something random.
Yes.
Car accident, heart attack, something he was unaware of.
But because Clark is so close to this like thing that's happening that he caused, he couldn't hear his dad, and we see Martha like shouting for Clark. But he can't hear it, and then the rubble kind of starts, and then he like picks up on it, and like they made mention a couple times that like Clark always hears 3 heartbeats.
Yep, Lois, Mom, Dad, gotcha.
And he doesn't hear one, so he books it. Oh man, it was so good.
It's up there with the from Identity Crisis.
It was such a sad dad.
Tim Drake's dad,
And it was cool because like I'm sorry guys if I'm remembering this out of order, but I know it's in the same story. Frank Quietly's art is amazing too, but like the cover for the next issue, like where we know that Jonathan's dead and everything, is just Clark and his dad like sitting on the farm, like kind of like resting on the fence.
Oh yeah, that old pose. That old
pose, and like they're both having a beer, and they end up having to recall some issues because they're like, well, Superman can't have a beer, so they changed it to like root beer, which was stupid.
That is dumb.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Everybody, when you grow up, you have a beer with your dad.
Everybody
does that.
It's a relatable thing.
Yeah, right.
It's
a rite of passage.
And it's a cool picture because you can tell like Clark's telling him a story about being in space or something, and you just see Clark like he's like kind of making this gesture like a whooshing gesture, and it's just like it was such a great piece of art. It's very simple,
but it
nighttime scene. Yeah, again, like that character. There's so much that has yet to be explored because people are lazy with Superman.
Just in 20 minutes, man, we managed to like flesh this character out More than they did in 3 movies with DC.
You know, and you know, with the help of you know, standing on the shoulders of giants.
Oh, no, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But they could easily do that.
Get some comic book writers in there. You know, get Jeff Johns.
That's what Marvel does.
It's the craziest thing that the time and effort. This is a flagship for you. You're big 3.
Yeah.
And you've only got one of the 3 right in many attempts.
Yes.
Okay, Wonder Woman's the only one that's like your first attempt. It just worked.
It just worked.
It just worked.
You took a little Cap.
Yeah.
You took a little Thor,
and you mashed it together.
You mashed it together.
You took it to Lilith Fair, and you got Wonder Woman. Okay, and you got Wonder Woman, and that's fine. All right.
You know what I always thought funny about Superman is like there's like he's a lot of Republicans' favorite superhero, but he's an immigrant.
Yeah, an illegal immigrant. Like
right?
super illegal.
And they're like, he's my fan. Like, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, like he doesn't willingly give himself to the U.S. government.
That's what I'm saying,
you
man.
know, like
but he probably pays taxes. Mm-hmm. And he probably votes Republican.
And he probably, you know, he saved a lot of... I'm sure he saved a lot of people on the left or the right.
Oh yeah, I'm sure when he's Superman, it doesn't matter.
No,
I'm sure it's very just
everybody gets one.
Everybody gets one.
Exactly, but with Superman, he just keeps coming. You know, he's got it all. He's got it all. You know, some of my favorite moments of Superman in comic books. And I probably should go in some kind of order, but Brian Azzarello and Jim Lee's For Tomorrow run.
Okay.
It's a very interesting, very existential look at what Superman is.
Okay.
There's this priest, and he has like, you know, terrible cancer spreading through his whole body.
Right.
He's like up at this roof, and he's kind of like cursing God. You know, like why? You know, kind of like why me? This.
Oh,
and
the
that.
priest is doing.
Yeah,
it.
a little bit. You know,
okay.
he's having a crisis.
Sure, he's melting down. He's like, oh,
yeah, just kind of like letting it out.
Yeah.
Superman hears it.
Right.
And he shows up.
Okay.
Which is, you know, just a weird thing.
Sure.
So they're just kind of like talking, and Superman kind of like x-rays his body. He's like, oh, it's pretty far, you know.
Yeah.
He's
I
like,
can't do nothing.
Yeah, he's like, it's inoperable, this and that. And the priest asks him, he's like, can you save me?
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't know. I've never tried.
Oh.
He's like, but is it my place to do it?
I was about to say, I hope he did that.
Superman says, he's like, is it my place to do it? And I'm paraphrasing, guys. It's been a long time since I read the story. But, he's like, you know, yeah, he's like, I wrestle with that every day. And he tells the priest a story about how he was in the Middle East. He's like, they were fighting with each other. He's like, so I took their guns and I took their weapons and I said, no more.
Oh.
And then you see a rock hit him in the chest, and some kid picks up a rock and they chucked it at Superman, and they just start fighting with their fists.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't make people do anything that they don't want to do. It was just like a really just like very somber, you know, discussion where Superman could be honest with this priest, and this priest could be honest with him.
Like Superman is saying it's perfectly acceptable for you to be upset and question your God.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
But this is the route this is what's supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna interfere with how your life turns.
Yes.
You had your shot.
Yeah.
And this is how it ends.
Yeah.
And it's painful and it's ugly and it's awful, but you brought a lot of beauty into this world. And maybe that's
all you get. You know, you get what you get.
Yeah.
And you know, it was just like it was a cool little moment.
See, those are the quiet moments people don't understand about
There's
Superman.
no action in that at all.
Right, no
action.
And those are kind of, I love the action in Superman comics, but it's the quiet moments he has with people like that, with Bruce.
Yeah.
You know, when they're talking about just life.
Yes,
you know?
yes. And I think it was J. Michael Straczynski, and again, I'm sorry if I'm getting the right or wrong. He did a story that was not popular at all.
Okay.
But it was called Walkabout.
Okay.
It was after a major event in DC Comics. Superman lands, and he just starts walking. He's Forrest Gumping it.
Walking
like
across Kane
the
and Kung Fu.
Yeah, he's like, you know, I've been above you all trying to save you.
Right.
I need to be among you.
Sure.
So he's literally walking.
Okay.
Through neighborhoods, through cities and all that stuff, just like trying to help where he can, like trying to like be part of like society. Very, very interesting. You know, just
that's cool.
Concept. It wasn't amazing, but I liked it. I really liked it. And,
that's for me. That's the story I want.
Yeah,
I want more of that.
Yeah,
I know he can be an amazing superhero and blow stuff up. That's awesome.
Yeah,
but I want to make some tick.
Yeah.
That's what Marvel always seemed to get. Mm-hmm. Even in their comics.
Yes.
They wanted to humanize the superhero.
Yes.
And they always did.
They always did. They always made it be like, we could be these people, or we could know these people.
Right.
You know? Whereas like, you're not going to know Batman.
No.
You know, And you're going to know Superman just as well as everybody else knows Superman.
Right.
He's that guy. He'd shake your hand, and I bet you he remembers every single person.
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally.
You know? There's another great moment in this Green Arrow storyline. And to try and kind of sum up, Green Arrow is his death is faked, and the Justice League thinks that he's dead, but Black Canary doesn't. She tracks him down. He's on this island. He's being held.
Yeah.
You know, so she brings Connor, his son. And
right.
Speedy, and so they kind of bust him off this island. And as they're getting away, I can't remember exactly how Connor gets injured, but he's dying.
Okay.
He's like dying on the boat. And they're like, what are we like? They're very far from any like help. And then you just like, Ollie's holding Connor, and he's just like, Clark. And then you see Clark, he's at the Daily Planet typing, and he's like, he hears a million things.
Sure.
All at once.
Yeah.
He's like, and he hears a familiar voice with an unfamiliar tone, and it's fear. And then, he's just like, Clark! And then you see Clark super speed out of there, and then Connor's gone. And then the sound of his words, like trailing off, like, I got him. There's just this great thing. Just very simple. And they take him to this hospital, and it was a cool like Justice League moment as well, because like I think he was poisoned. I think that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
So it's like like the doctor's like, hey, like you guys can't be here. Like,
right.
Like the patients are like they're a little worried. Like, what if somebody attacks? And I can't remember who says it. I think it's Wonder Woman. I said, you have no idea. This is probably the safest building on the planet. And you see Batman in the you see Batman and like his people like in the stairwells.
Yeah.
You see Martian Manhunter like floating. Like all the heroes are
like
there.
this. Yeah. No one's getting in here.
Yeah, but it was just like a very like like Green Arrow. In the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Is like I can call for my buddy. He's gonna show up.
And he's gonna be there.
Yes.
He's gonna be there.
And there you go, a relatable dude, like a dependable guy.
That's what I mean. Everyone's got that friend like. When you need them, boom,
they're just there.
They're just there.
And, and obviously Clark and Ollie don't see eye to eye.
Right.
Often. Except for Justice,
Sure.
So, it's just like, dude, he's just like a good guy. Like, he's the guy you will call Clark anytime you need to move a couch. He's going to help you move a couch every single time.
Right.
You're that weirdo friend who gets a new place every year.
Yeah.
Clark helps you move and you know what? He probably brings the pizza in here. So I think that for us, and I think the majority of Superman and comic book fans, Superman is relatable.
He is.
He is relatable. What's out of touch is the people controlling how these movies are made.
It's the suits and the higher-ups. And again, I could see Henry Cavill playing that.
Oh my God. So well.
Yeah,
so
big time, man. And I don't know. It's a bummer they're recasting him.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I don't think that Henry Cavill's perfect per se. But man, he's been really good. But he didn't have
a lot to work with.
He didn't have, he did so much with nothing.
There you go.
It was ridiculous.
Right.
He did so much that we're like, we didn't really care for Man of Steel. Right. We didn't like Batman vs. Superman, and we really didn't like Justice League. And we're bummed Henry Cavill's not coming back as Superman.
Right. One of the high points in those movies, and again, just even the stuff he had to say, he still managed to make it sound cool.
Yes.
And Superman.
Yeah. And his bold choice to not shave his chest and allow that chest fro to like bust out of the top.
Exactly. He's a man.
Yeah. He's trying to get
Superman.
He's trying to get it in your nostril. He wants you to know that he's around.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Well, kids, on that note, that is our show. If you like what we're doing, please hit the subscribe button. Leave us a comment. Please give us a like. If you could rate or review us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all of the above, it would really help us get some exposure out there.
I know the people who like us love us.
Yes.
So tell your friends. Tell us how much you like it. I know you tell me. I see you people all the time. You tell me you love this show. So let's get some more.
Spread the word. We got some good things coming down the pike. I mean, Christmas is coming up.
Christmas is coming.
I guess we're going to have some Christmas-related shows.
Yeah, I think so.
I guess we're going to have to
get the gang back together.
Yeah.
The band back together.
Yeah, we got some things coming down the pike for you guys.
It's going to be fun.
And we're looking forward to sharing that with you. Eric, what did you learn today?
I've always been a fan of Superman, but man, I think I learn this every time. I think I need to read more Superman. More trades. Boom. I need to get into it more.
Yeah. He's not he's not as interesting as Batman, but he is.
Maybe he is, but just in a different light.
Yes. Yes.
And I need to maybe start looking at the light more.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm learning.
Yeah, and
I can't be in the dark my whole life.
My DC experience in comics is better. I enjoy almost all of it.
Right.
You know, and I enjoy it. Like, I do like the Batman comics a little bit better, and mostly because they have more hand-to-hand fighting.
And ninjas.
Yeah, man, ninjas. I need ninjas, all right? And I just realized, I learned, I need ninjas whenever I can get ninjas. And I think that...
You're my ninja. Man.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And I think that the suits, I guess we always know that, but they're the ones who can't relate.
Yes.
They're the ones who
always out of
can't
touch.
make the decision. Find somebody lower level. Yeah, get yourself a Feige, somebody who just likes the research, has read the material, and has vision.
Right, and respects the source material.
That's the biggest thing. Just respect it, and it's going to respect you. And by respecting you, it's going to line your pocket, because we still keep giving our money to your crap movies. And you only got so many more times. Okay, it's that again, bad boyfriend syndrome. He says he's going to change.
Look at Warner Brothers as the Superman S, how he's explained it.
Yeah.
It's a river of hope.
Yeah,
it goes like this, and maybe it'll work out.
Oh God, I hope so. Kids, thank you so much for listening. I have been your host, Roman Chavez.
I'm still Erik Icarus,
and we will catch you next time.